Hey everybody, this video here is showing a mod on the Nanrobot LS7 crazy hyper scooter. The mod is to change out this finger throttle. You're looking at just the pieces that I've laid together. This is how they're arranged on the bike. But on the handlebar, if you think about it, you got a brakes, you're holding the handlebar here, boom, you're squeezing the brake. Well, the way it's arranged is finger throttle, boom, you use this finger. Those things get going so damn fast. And imagine being in traffic with cars zooming past you. Maybe you're on a center island coming to a stoplight or something at speed, and maybe somebody cuts you off or something, or someone steps in front of you, you got to stop quick. You squeeze both the handlebar levers. Well, I've had this happen in 4 or 5 hours of total riding time that I've done on this bike, this scooter, since I've had it. This has happened to me 3 or 4 times where my finger's still almost on the throttle and I pull it while I'm pulling the brakes. Even though this thing has hydraulic brakes and it also has regen on it, that throttle is so damn torquey, it'll override the brakes, and it's scary. You could launch yourself in front of a car and kill yourself. I predict right now, down the road, there's going to be a recall or a lawsuit, class action against these people for doing this stupid damn throttle. What this is it does a few functions. I took it apart. It does your on-off. You can see right here, a button on the left is on-off, which would be this one. And the other 2 buttons are up and down, positive, negative. Once it's running, hitting the positive, boom, 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 it changes it from gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, or speed 1, speed 2, speed 3, whatever you want to call it. 2 and 3 are damn scary. From a dead stop, you better be able to feather that thing to get going, or you're gonna hurt yourself. This thing is a strange, crazy damn scooter. I love it. I've always liked fast, torquey vehicles. And so what I'm doing is I'm changing out this finger throttle for a thumb throttle. So here we go again. I'm simulating my hand on the handlebar. Instead of pulling it there, I want to be able to dedicate all 4 of those fingers to pulling the brake levers, both sides. Now, with my mod here, you use my thumb to do the throttle. There's going to be no confusing, and it's going to be very simple. You know, I've got other scooters. I got 5 or 6 other scooters that I just put together. Franken scooters, I call them. But thumb throttles are what I've always had. I have one aftermarket controller that's set up like this too. I don't like it. It's not comfortable. And to tell you the truth, when you have to take your dedicated fingers off those brake throttles or off that handlebar grip to pull a throttle, that is stupid. Maybe if you're just going 5-10 miles an hour, that could be acceptable. But this damn thing is 60-70 miles an hour. That's won't survive it in some situations. Anyways, so what I did was, using my voltmeter, I opened this thing up, and I'll show you right here. You see that? Those 3 red wires right there? That is your hall sensor. I forget the pin out order it is. I know one of them's power, one of them's ground, and the other one is signal out. And the way that works is, when this is put back together, there's a little deep spot right there. I'm right where my thumb is. Whoops. Yeah, when this board goes together, right there at the tip of my thumb, there's a little deep spot. So it slides down in there, the hall sensor. And what it does is it sits right up against this curve here. So this is a magnet on the throttle. When this is in its position, what happens, the way a hall sensor works is it's energized with under 5 volts. I'll get a little deeper into that in a second. And when it's energized with 5 volts, when you wave a magnet over it, it'll induce current out of the signal pin. So I'm going to go look online real quick and see which one is which. I can almost know, but you don't want to put power up the wrong pin on a hall sensor because they're very delicate. They can go bad from heat. They can go bad from shocking, hitting them, like laying the scooter down hard, letting handlebar hit the ground. Boom, is enough to jar it and make them not work anymore. And absolutely, by wiring it wrong, by putting power in the wrong pin, you can kill them. And they're pretty difficult to change out. It can be done. I change them out, but more times than not, I break the top of the red little leg that touches the black little integrated circuit. I happen to break those off because they're not really made to move. And I guess I'm kind of a rookie at it, but I can get it done if I take my time. So anyways, yeah, this magnet, it rotates on that little center pin there. And as the magnet passes by the hall sensor, it makes more current come out that signal pin, which goes into the controllers and tells it faster, slower. So, like I'm saying, I used my voltmeter. I put it on continuity, which it'll tell you continuity is this guy down here. It also looks like it's the same one you use for a diode. Okay. But what it is when you have it in that setting and you touch the two probes together, my voltmeter beeps, beep, beep. It tells me, yep, those are connected. So what I did was, here's a little dumb drawing. I draw like a 3-year-old. Here's the board. And you see the 3 pins going across here. That's simulating the hall sensor, the bottom of it sticking up. So I touched each one of these pins, and I found here's your 6 other little dots here. Those are your 6 wires that come up to the board. And you can see right there in the bottom right-hand corner, there's 6 little dots of solder, which are the 6 wires coming in. And then right next to it at an angle, you see the other 3 little dots. Those are the hall sensor. So I used it in continuity, and I touched each pin of the hall, and I found the corresponding wire, and I snipped them. And what I've done here, same kind of thing, is I've figured out these 3 here are my hall set. This is the throttle that's going to work on this. This will easily go on my handlebar. And if it's not pretty, I don't care. At least I know I'm not going to hurt myself. Yeah, your signal wire, I'll tell you, between manufacturers and whatnot, it changes. On some it's blue, some it's green, and this one here is white. Red and black, that's pretty self-explanatory. Hall sensors run on no more than 5 volts. And something that you can do, you can simulate. You can energize this hall sensor, and you can hit the thumb throttle and check your output with set your voltmeter on DC 20. And this is the best way to do it. Bench test it. Just like a phone charger with a USB plug, put it in. These are all 5 volts. Let's put out 5 volts. And then I got a couple little test leads here. So I plug this in, and I get 5 volts coming out. And I put the positive onto the pin that takes the 5 volts on the hall sensor. I put the negative on the negative. And then as I hit the throttle, current comes out of that 3rd pin, and I read it off with my voltmeter. That's basically when you're troubleshooting hall sensors to tell if they're good or bad. And I'm sorry if I'm confusing you here on this, but my main message here is this is very crucial. So I drilled another little hole next to this cable here. This is what plugs in. This has to plug back into the scooter, and then got my power button still and my 3 speeds. But as far as the hall sensor part goes, I cut those 3 wires. This is going to feed up inside, and I'm going to solder these to those, and then I'm going to put this on the other side, and I'm going to have a thumb throttle. So I'm sorry if this is a kind of an idiot, stupid video here, but I'm just kind of got a lot going on here. Another thing I was going to do, I'm really not wanting to ride this thing at night because it's pretty dark out where I live. There's not a lot of street lights. I just bought this off of Amazon, little mini, what are these, light bars. This one puts out quite a bit of lumens. Um, it's like $50 that one, and I don't like how it looks on there. And I think I'm just going to put this on my Toyota truck. I have another one on there already, but I could integrate that into the grill or something. So I'm really just not going to ride this thing at night. I'm just going to ride it during the day, because all those little decisions that we make on riding it at a bad time or riding it with this funky throttle they send it to you with, taking a chance on hurting yourself. You got to take it real easy and make good decisions on these scooters if you don't want to go to the hospital. So, all right, everybody.